Imagine meeting someone for the first time. They're good-looking, well-dressed, confident. Without even thinking, you assume they're also intelligent, trustworthy, and kind. Now, imagine someone else. Maybe they're less conventionally attractive, or they dress differently. Without realizing it, you might assume they're less competent, less honest, less capable. Here's the thing. You've never spoken to either of them. You have zero evidence about their character or intelligence. But your brain has already made up its mind. This is the halo effect, one of the most powerful and invisible forces shaping how you see the world. It's why attractive people get better jobs, lighter prison sentences, and are trusted more quickly. It's why we assume good-looking people are smarter, even when there's zero proof. Today, we're diving into the psychology and neuroscience behind this mental shortcut. Why does your brain do this? Where does it come from? And most importantly, how can you stop it from controlling your decisions? I'm Omer, and this is your brain on the halo effect. The halo effect was first discovered back in 1920 by a psychologist named Edward Thorndike. He was studying how military officers rated their soldiers on things like intelligence, physique, leadership, and character. Here's what Thorndike noticed. If an officer thought a soldier was tall and good-looking, they also rated him as more intelligent and a better leader. Even though there was no connection between those traits, a positive impression in one area created a halo that made everything else seem positive too. That's where the name comes from. One good trait, like attractiveness, creates a halo that lights up everything else about that person in your mind. Polish psychologist Solomon Asch later found that first impressions matter most. When we learn positive things about someone first, those traits stick and color everything we learn later. If we learn negative things first, the opposite happens. Today, researchers have a simpler way of describing it. What is beautiful is good. Studies consistently show that when someone is attractive, we automatically assume they're also confident, trustworthy, intelligent, and emotionally stable. But here's the catch. There's no actual connection between how someone looks and how honest or smart they are. Your brain is making this up. So, why does your brain play these tricks on you? It comes down to one word: efficiency. Your brain is bombarded with information every single second. To survive, it needs shortcuts. Psychologists call these shortcuts heuristics. They're mental rules of thumb that help you make quick decisions without using too much mental energy. Think of it this way. If you had to deeply analyze every single person you met, their character, their history, their intentions, you'd be exhausted by lunchtime. So your brain takes shortcuts. It uses whatever information is easiest to grab, like how someone looks, and fills in the blanks. The halo effect is your brain's way of saying, this person has one good quality. Let's assume they have other good qualities too. It'll save time. There's another layer to this. Recent research suggests that the halo effect might not just be a simple shortcut, it might actually be your brain trying to be smart. Here's what that means. When you see someone attractive, your brain isn't just being lazy. It's actually making a complex calculation. It's asking, based on everything I know about the world, what kind of person is this likely to be? Your brain has learned from experience, from movies, from society, that attractive people often get treated better, succeed more, and seem happier. So it predicts, based on that data, that this attractive person probably has other good qualities too. The problem? These are just stereotypes your brain has absorbed. They're not facts. But they feel like facts because your brain is so good at making predictions. So, what's actually happening inside your skull when the halo effect takes over? Neuroscience gives us some clues. When you see an attractive face, several areas of your brain activate almost instantly. The amygdala, which processes emotion and social judgment, lights up. So does the orbitofrontal cortex, involved in reward and decision-making. Your brain literally finds looking at attractive people rewarding. But here's where it gets interesting. Once your brain tags someone as rewarding or positive, that feeling spreads. It influences how other parts of your brain process information about that person. One study found that these biases aren't just about memory, they're about how we judge information. When researchers gave people positive or negative information about someone, that valence, the emotional charge, affected whether they attributed positive or negative statements to that person later. In simple terms, Once your brain decides someone is good, it becomes more likely to remember their good actions and forget their bad ones. And when information is unclear, your brain fills in the gaps with whatever fits your positive impression. Neuroscientists call this top-down processing. Your brain's higher-level expectations, this person is attractive, so they must be good, actually shape how you perceive lower-level information. It's not just that you think they're good. Your brain literally sees them differently. A 2024 study even found that when people used beauty filters on photos, the same faces were rated higher not just for attractiveness, but for intelligence and trustworthiness too. Same person, same expression, just a filter. And your brain fell for it every time. This isn't just a fun psychology fact. The halo effect has real, sometimes dangerous consequences. Let's start with the courtroom. Studies show that attractive defendants are less likely to be convicted. When they are convicted, they receive lighter sentences. A meta-analysis found that unattractive people receive 36% fewer callbacks after job interviews and are more likely to be fired. In hiring, it gets even worse. When resumes are mediocre, attractive candidates are rated more favorably than unattractive ones with identical qualifications. Interviewers genuinely believe they're being objective, but their brains have already decided. In schools, teachers fall for it too. Studies have found that attractive students are often perceived as smarter, get more attention, and receive higher grades, even when their work is identical to less attractive classmates. Marketing companies have known about this for decades. That's why celebrities sell you everything from perfume to cars. You like the celebrity, so you assume the product must be good too. Your positive feeling about them creates a halo around whatever they're selling. Here's a scary one. The halo effect even influences how we judge people's health. If someone is physically fit or attractive, we assume they're healthy, even when they might have serious medical conditions. And if someone is attractive and successful, we might completely miss signs of depression or mental illness. And, of course, it affects our personal lives. On dating apps, we swipe based on a photo, and then invent an entire personality for that person. We imagine they're funny, kind, interesting. Then we meet them and realize they're none of those things. But the halo effect has a dark cousin. Psychologists call it the horn effect, or sometimes the devil effect. It works the same way, but in reverse. One negative trait creates a dark cloud that makes everything else seem negative too. Think about the kid who got in trouble once in school. Suddenly, every small mistake is seen as proof they're a bad kid. Teachers watch them more closely. Other kids avoid them. One incident defines them forever. Or the job candidate who's a little awkward in the interview. You assume they're probably bad at the job too, even though their resume shows they're one of the best in their field. On dating apps, if you're not attracted to someone's photo, you might assume they're boring, or weird, or creepy. In reality, they might be kind, funny, and wonderful, but you'll never find out because your brain already decided. So, here's the million-dollar question. Can we stop the halo effect? The bad news, no one is immune. Even people who know about the bias fall for it. Studies show that most people believe they're less biased than average, which is itself a bias. The good news, with awareness and effort, you can reduce its power. Here's how. Number 1, slow down. The halo effect happens fast, in milliseconds. If you catch yourself making a snap judgment, pause. Ask yourself, what evidence do I actually have? Number 2, look for contradictory evidence. Your brain wants to confirm what it already believes. Actively look for information that might challenge your first impression. Number 3, get other opinions. Ask people you trust what they think. They might notice things you missed. Number 4, separate the traits. When evaluating someone for a job, a relationship, anything, consciously rate different qualities separately. Don't let one good trait influence your rating of others. Number 5, be aware of beauty filters. Remember that 2024 study? Filters changed how people rated intelligence and trustworthiness. Online, what you see isn't always real. And finally, accept that you're human. Your brain takes shortcuts because it has to. The goal isn't to eliminate bias entirely, it's to catch yourself when it matters most. Reminder that your brain is not a perfect camera. It doesn't record reality, it constructs it. Every judgment you make is filtered through layers of bias, expectation, and mental shortcuts. But here's the beautiful part. Once you know the filter is there, you can start to see through it. You can learn to separate someone's appearance from their character, their confidence from their competence, their attractiveness from their honesty. If this video made you think differently about how you see people, here's how you can help. Like this video, it helps more people discover content that makes them think. Comment below, when have you caught yourself falling for the halo effect? Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into how your brain works. Share this with someone who needs to know why they keep trusting the wrong people. Your brain takes shortcuts, but now you know how to spot them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.